Stop thinking. Just start. You've been thinking about it for weeks, maybe months, maybe even years. You've written plans, made lists, watched tutorials. You've waited for the perfect time, the perfect mindset, the perfect version of yourself. You've told yourself this, I'll start when I'm ready. But here is the truth that no one tells you. You'll never feel completely ready. And that's exactly why you have to stop thinking and just start. Every single dreamer, every creator, every successful person you admire, they all started before they were ready. They didn't have it all figured out. They didn't have the best tools. They didn't know if it would work. But they started anyway. You see, thinking feels safe. It feels like progress. You convince yourself that planning is productive. You tell yourself that once you finish researching, once you are confident, once everything aligns, then you will begin. But you and I both know what happens next. Days pass, then weeks, then months. And you are still standing in the same spot with the same dream whispering one day. Thinking is the mind's way of protecting you from fear. It tells you to stay where you are. It tells you that you are not ready yet. It promises safety, but steals your time. And that time is the one thing you never get back. You are not waiting for the right time. You are just scared to begin. And that's okay. Everyone is. The first step is terrifying. It feels like standing at the edge of a cliff, staring into the unknown. You are scared to fail. Scared of what people will think. Scared that you'll try your hardest and still fall short. But here is the secret. Every single person who ever did something great felt exactly the same way. They didn't wait for courage to show up. They moved while their hands were still shaking. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is action despite fear. And something magical happens the moment you take that first step of momentum. Once you start, you stop thinking so much. You stop worrying about perfection. You start learning. You start growing. And you start becoming. It's like pushing a car stuck in the mud. At first, it won't move. You push and it's barely shift. But if you keep going, if you keep pushing, eventually it rolls forward. And once it's moving, it's easier to keep it going. That's what starting does. It breaks inertia. It creates energy. It turns thought into motions and emotions into progress. Maybe you are waiting for the perfect time, but there is no such thing as perfect timing. Because life never settles down. There will always be something in the way. It could be stress, work, family, fear, and self-doubt. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will wait forever. The right time isn't next week. It isn't when you are ready. It's now. You will never find clarity by sitting still. Clarity comes from doing. You don't learn how to swim by reading about water. You learn by getting in. Awkward, uncertain, uncomfortable, and trying. You might stumble, you might fall, you might even fail. But that's okay because you are in motion. Every time you overthink, you lose energy. Every time you hesitate, your confidence shrinks. Every time you say maybe tomorrow, you teach your brain that your dreams can wait. And they can't. One day, if you keep waiting, you'll wake up and realize all your some days have turned into nevers. That dream you had, someone else started it. That idea you loved, it faded away because you never began. You don't have unlimited chances. Time is moving, whether you are or not. The longer you wait, the heavier that regret becomes. So stop overthinking your potential. Start living it. Think about the people who changed the world. Steve Jobs didn't wait until Apple was perfect. He started in a garage. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter while broke and struggling. Elon Musk built rockets that failed again and again. Oprah was told she'd never make it on TV. What if they'd all waited until they were ready? We'd never know their names. Starting doesn't guarantee success, but not starting guarantees failure. And the loudest voice holding you back isn't the world's, it's yours. That little whisper that says, what if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I'm not good enough? You've heard it so long that you've started to believe it. But you don't have to listen. You can answer back with one sentence. I'm doing it anyway. Fear screams, action whispers, and the only way to silence fear is to move. You don't have to start big. You don't need to have everything figured out. Start small. Write one page. Go for one run. Make one call. Create one post. A small step in the right direction beats standing still. Because when you start small, you build confidence. And when you build confidence, you gain momentum. And when you have momentum, you are unstoppable. Stop waiting to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. People waste years chasing it. They rewrite, re-edit, restart, all because they are scared of not being good enough. But perfection doesn't teach you anything. Mistakes do. The people who succeed aren't perfect. They are persistent. They fail. They learn. They adjust. And they keep showing up. That's the real secret. When you start, something shifts inside you. You realize that you don't need permission. You realize that progress feels better than potential. You realize that action, even imperfect action, changes everything. You start to see the results. You start to believe again. And suddenly, the person who used to hesitate becomes the person who moves with certainty. Action changes identity. Every time you act, you cast a vote for the kind of person you want to become. You are not just doing something, you are becoming someone. People will look at successful people and call them lucky. But luck is what happens when preparations meet actions. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for certainty. They didn't wait for the right mood or motivation. They just began. Messy, scared, unsure, but they began. And that made all the difference. So let me ask you, what's the one thing you've been putting off? That dream that keeps showing up in your thoughts. That goal that scares you because it means so much. Don't wait another week. Don't plan another plan. Don't give yourself another excuse. Do something today. Take one action, no matter how small, because that's how everything begins. The moment you start, you change your story. You are no longer someone who's thinking about it. You are someone who's doing it. And that's when transformation begins. That's when momentum builds. And that's when fear starts to fade. Because once you start, you realize it was never as hard as you imagined. Starting is always the hardest part. Finishing becomes easier once you've begun. One day you will look back and laugh at how scared you were to start. You'll smile at the memory of your hesitation, and you will thank yourself for the moment you finally said, I am done waiting, I'm starting now. Because a regret doesn't come from failure. It comes from inaction, from knowing you could have tried and didn't. Life isn't waiting for you to think about it. It's happening right now. And every second you spend doubting, planning, hesitating, is a second you could have spent living. Stop thinking, start moving, start creating, start building, and start becoming. Because your dreams won't chase you, you have to chase them. Everything you need is already inside you. You've got the ideas, the talent, and the heart. All that missing is action. So take the first step, even if it's small, even if it's scary, even if it's uncertain. Because the moment you start, everything changes. Stop thinking, just start. Your future is waiting.